So is pretty much how I approach traded funded accounts. I've currently got 2 live accounts which I successfully passed. The first passed a 100k account about a month ago, and then I've just recently passed a 150k account. Right now, there's pros and cons to all of this, and I want to go over it with you. So just putting that aside, I just want to explain a few things, right? So this is essentially the strategy in what you want to do if you're going to go down the funded account route. There's lots of real good reasons why you want to do it. There's also some drawbacks. The drawbacks are mainly around the drawdown, right? The trailing drawdown. The amount of drawdown you're allowed at any one point from the high watermark, and if it goes beyond that, you effectively fail that account. Or if you've got a paid for account, you lose that account. So let's have a quick look at some of these accounts. So I exclusively trade, not exclusively, that's not the right word, but I mainly trade with Apex funded trader accounts because of the price, right? The price is fantastic. And so the way I trade is I trade risky on the evaluations and a lot more reserved on the paid for account. So the 100k and the 150k account, I will trade really low ball. In fact, I haven't even traded with those accounts yet. If you take the kind of main top 6-7 evaluation accounts, let's look into them individually. So look, 25k, maximum sizing is 4 contracts. Now on micro contracts, so if I'm looking at trading on the NASDAQ as an example, well, for every point it's $125, or every tick. So for 4 ticks, which is a point, you know, it's a $125 move. And if you know anything about how NASDAQ moves, it really shifts, right? So 4 contracts is not bad for the 25k account. Here's where things get a little bit sneaky. So the goal is 1.5k. So you just have to make 1.5k on a 25k account, and then you pass that account, right? And then you're trading with, you know, a proper a funded account. They call them PA accounts. And then the trailing drawdown is 1.5k. So you can never lose more than 1.5k. That's the problem. That's the big drawdown. And I'm going to show you exactly how my strategy deals with this. Next one is 50k, 10 contracts, 3k goal, and a 2.5k drawdown. Then you've got a 75k evaluation, which is 12 contracts and a 4.5k goal. But again, look, as the goals start to increase, you don't get that same distance for your trailing drawdown. So really, you only get a 2.5k difference between the 50k and the 75k, but there's a 1.5k difference in the goal. So again, harder to pass with less drawdown. 100k, this for me is probably the worst one, and I didn't give it any thought when I first went down this approach. But for a 100k evaluation, it's a 6k goal and a 3k drawdown. So you've got to double your goal to your trailing drawdown ratio, which is tough. I like this one probably the most, this one on the 50k account. So the 150k, you've got 17 contracts as your max size, and you have to make a goal of 9k, but remember, you've got a lot of contracts to play with there. So although the goal is getting higher, so is your ability to size up, right? But the trailing drawdown's 5k. That gives you a little bit more wiggle room than what the 9k, the 100k does. It's nearly double it, right? And then the 250k feels like it's a bit challenging. 15k with only a 6.5k drawdown. So take that aside, not bad. You know, my favourite would be the 50k and the 150k. But let's look at some pricings and why specifically I think some of these are really interesting. So for the evaluation accounts, they're advertised at 140. The 25k is advertised at 147 pounds or dollars rather, and you pay that per month. So you pay this every single month until you pass or fail, right? And if you fail, you have to cancel that account. But more often than not, Apex funded traders will offer some sort of a discount. And so, you know, my discount code is there. Use that. It's always going to be related to the maximum discount you've got available. So if you're going to use that discount, you guaranteed that if they've got 80% discount on, that you'll get that discount applied. And so really, you don't want to be buying these accounts unless there's at least an 80% discount off, because look at the numbers, right? And this is why I say, for me, I trade risky on evaluation accounts, and I just go for it, because $29 for a 25k account, can I pass that within a month? 1.5k? I think so. 50k, you're going to pay $33, $60 for the 150k. So why is it powerful? Here's how I trade it, right? So my ambition is I'm not touching my 2 accounts at all until such time that I've got enough PA accounts that I can copy trade. And so what that means in essence is that if I've got, let's say, I decide, you know, there's a 90% discount, and so the price for a 50k evaluation might be $25 or something. I might buy 10 accounts in one go, and I'll buy them 10 accounts. I'll use a copy trader, which means that you have a master trade account, and then the rest of them act as slaves, so they just copy against that. And it might be that past the 50k account with them 10 accounts, then things get really interesting, right? Because if I've got 10 accounts or 12 accounts, and my goal to only trade and risk like $300 is easy to make in the likes of NASDAQ when you've got the ability to scale, when you've got big, you know, you've got a lot of kind of capital to play with. Where it becomes really beneficial is that $300. Well, if I've got 12 accounts and those 12 accounts all do the same trade at $300, and remember my drawdown, $300, the drawdown's not a lot, right? Because you've got up to like 2.5k on a 50k account, so you're only risking a small amount. You can get large gains based off that. So that them gains on like a, you know, 12 accounts with $300, we'll work it out. 12 times 3, it's $3,600, right? If my maths is right, for one trade. That was risking only $300 because of the way that you factored in the copy trading accounts. And so that's the way I do it. I'm happy if I blow an account that I paid $29 for or $33 for. That's an acceptable loss to me, and I'm not trying to go, it's about money or anything like that, but it's worth the risk on the smaller challenge accounts to build up to multiple accounts. Add them into your pot here, so that effectively you're trading with a lot of accounts, but with one master account that's essentially copying the rest of those trades. It's a really good way to think about it, and so I'll keep you updated on my progress. Of course, if you want to get involved, make sure you do so. Use my code, that will help me tremendously, of course. I would also just say, for anyone who's wanting to understand a little bit more about these accounts, we have our free Discord server, or pretty much the majority of people are trading these funded accounts. So if you want to learn more, come in, ask some questions, feel free to do so. With that being said, hope you got something from this, and I will see you in the next one.